comes Nebraska. Great vibe at Memorial Stadium, per usual in Lincoln, getting ready for a battle with the Wisconsin Badgers. Hi again, everybody. Welcome high atop Memorial Stadium with Jake Butt, Brooke Fletcher down on the field, Jeff Levering with you. Thanks for being with us today. And boy, there are a lot of storylines getting into this one, Jake. But let's start with this. Both teams at 5-5.
What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Welcome into your weekly humiliation ritual in Lincoln.
And really, that's what this bowl race is about. It's not just the game, but it's the 15 practices.
Game getting really close to kicking off here. Figure we just start on time. Now you may be asking yourself, is Gary here? Kinda. We got a still shot of him looking stupid. All right. But I will give Gary 100% slack. He's... Let me turn this down. Let me turn Jake Butt down a little bit. His butt's being loud. Gary's really burning the candle at both ends. He's got a night job right now and a morning job, so he's probably asleep. Honest to God, it's probably no fault of his own. He's probably just passed out. So I text him. I go, dude, if you feel like sleeping through the first quarter, I wouldn't even blame you. So I don't know if you guys could tell in our preview video, that was we filmed that at like 5 a.m, and he was yawning through like all the takes, but got through it because that's what the real ones do.
That guy right there is Dana Holgerson. Initially, he was hired as an outside consultant, but almost immediately he was promoted to offensive coordinator.
I think
that was a little more than 2 weeks ago. It has been
I'm going to show some of the game today.
Since. There's just not enough time to implement his own system. So what is this really about? It's about getting a fresh set of eyes on their operation. Now, he shared with us a few goals that he has this afternoon. Simplify the system, keeping Raiola clean, and getting more out of that run game.
They're just trying to learn names at this point. One name we don't need to learn about is Brooke
you
Fletcher.
know.
She's down in the field, and one of the names Dana Holgerson didn't have to learn was his quarterback, Dylan Raiola.
Yeah, since coming to Nebraska, Dana Holgerson said he's been nothing but impressed with Dylan Raiola just from his preparation, his leadership, and his overall football IQ. He said, man, how is this guy a freshman? But one thing he did
he's looking plenty freshman-like. Let's relax.
Way too many times on this offense, and you could tell that it was really wearing on his confidence. So that's something that they really addressed just to get him back and trusting that playmaking ability. He said you could see him taking a step in the right direction last week versus USC, but now you got to build off of that. He also gave some credit to the communication system in game, just really establishing that dialogue. But he told me, hey, listen, Dylan, he knows the plays. He knows this offense. I'm just in his ear, just trying to remind him, just talking some football, gaining some momentum there and that confidence under center, guys.
Thank you so much, Brooke. It is a perfect day for football. 60 degrees.
Yeah, I know. It's a good pick of him, though. It's a good pick of him. It really illustrates what he's thinking at most times.
Happy Valley and Penn State, but for today, we are going to enjoy this one in Lincoln, Nebraska. Sunny skies.
Bass fishing. I don't even want to talk about that, okay? Don't even bring that up. That is just... I know you're not lying, though. He says Dylan guaranteed us a bowl game. Something I can't believe he did that, man. That's wild. All positive plays. Yeah, GB2 Life. God dang, your text is small. GB2G Life says the scripted plays looked good. Didn't they, though? Great kick return. Thank you, Patriot. No penalties. No moving backwards. Just bing, bang, boom. Good balance of run and pass. Man, I liked Holgerson last week. I didn't want to say anything because I don't want Gary to get upset about it because, you know, Gary gets all, but I like Holgerson. I like him more than Satterfield. That's easy. Easy. Yeah, conservative Husker says Emmett was hitting the hole. Emmett looked great out there, you know. I wonder if we'll see Dowdle. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Whoever we get. Glory be to God as a lifestyle. I like it. Maybe. When's the last time you saw a cheerful Gary, Tiger? I don't know if that sort of ting exists anymore. Gary's also the style of boomer that leaves his computer on for months at a time without turning it off. So I'm sure his computer's in great health. I'm sure it's not going to take a long time for him to get it to boot up. Sam Foreman says, I'm already seeing better execution with Holgorsen than Satterfield. Well, I don't know if you guys pay attention to the coaching press conferences, but the number one thing that I liked about Holgorsen is he told the receivers, he goes, well, what I don't understand, you guys, is we've got, you guys are big. You guys are like, you know, other than Barney's, like we got a couple of 6'4" receivers out there. He's like, how come they aren't blocking worth a crap on the outside? And he told them straight up, if you don't block, you will not catch passes in my offense. And what do you know? They started blocking last week on the edge. Specifically, he's talking about edge block.
Timeout to give I'm just a little behind you, I think. It ain't a big deal. It's no big deal or nothing.
Oh, definitely pause it on the little field goal.
Right? It looked like he had possession of the ball.
Yeah, Isaiah Butler, I'm a big Bills fan. Butler was there for the last few years. He's a good coach, man. Like
he
the
needs
Bills have
taller.
Had
he needs
I don't think the guys on the team are this level of, you know, compared to everybody else.
Tell me the Bills have better backs than the Skurs?
No, I wouldn't get that crazy.
Idiot. All right, where's the bobble? Where's the little biobble?
I didn't really see it.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, if I'm being completely honest, like that deserves to be a touchdown. I mean, he's out of bounds for like 2-3 steps, but he damn sure didn't hold on to it on the way down. Shit went into a poinsettia. Did you see that? Did you see it?
Those are roses, dude.
I don't know what I'm not a flower guy. Right? I'm not a botanist.
The fact you don't recognize the most common flower on the earth, period. That itself isn't
I ain't got
crazy.
no green thumb.
The better part is that you come up with one of the most off-the-wall one day of the year.
Hey, are they both red? Are they both red? Are they red?
So they lose their challenge. Bryson Green comes away with the score. It's his first touchdown of the season. Did not have a catch last week in the loss to Oregon.
Let me see them again. Let me see them flowers again. That's what this replay is really about.
Wide open down in the end
yeah, those are
zone.
roses.
Just
okay.
beat Buford to the spot. When you're running a fade, you're working towards that back pylon.
Bro caught it off the wall like that counted. I still got it.
Like it's Arena League ball.
Yeah.
He floated a little bit, but it was a good job by Bryson
good, right?
Green with strong hands at the point of attack.
How about the first two drives for both of these offenses?
Definitely doesn't have to be 2 feet in college, Jim.
New coordinators.
The extra point is up and good from Nathaniel Vaccos.
Living in Omaha, Dave Matney with the $5 dono. Thank you, man. Says Gabe the Florist. My new
I'm trying to think of a good analogy for that.
I don't even know. I mean, to be fair, I only saw it for like half a second. I just saw some red flowers.
It'd be like if somebody saw a black lab and mistook it for some
cane
off-the-wall
corso
breed that's also dark.
A cane corso. Like, what? Hey, get that cane corso out of here. It's a black lab. What are you talking about? It's not going to hurt you.
Hey, I'm not a veterinarian.
Listen, I ain't no dog whisperer. So that sucked, by the way.
I'm going to go on a limb and say I don't think anybody's all too surprised
I am.
Can I start the whiny bitch phase early?
Sure. We don't have any rules about when to start and when to stop.
Bullshit spot on the first down that would have been 3rd and 1, about midfield, and bullshit call on the pass interference.
I don't like that pass interference.
Ran a different route than he threw that kept the drive. I mean, they could have kept it going either way, but
still, why the help? Why the help? You know, I hate when it seems like referees, because, and this is going too far. Like I don't really stand on this 10 toes down or anything, but there's a part of me that wonders if all of the complaining that Nebraska does, rightful complaining though, if that doesn't make the refs just want to dig their heels in even more.
Probably.
You know, and be like,
wasn't that kind of how it all started?
Yeah. I wish we could can we get some Tesla robot refs in the future? Can we get refs with zero egos that just like have wheels on their feet and they zoom up and down the field and they don't have human error? That would be dope. I hope in 20 years that's where we're at. Because human beings being referees is just so...
Both offenses are and how good both defenses are. First 2 drives of the game, bang, bang.
Right.
I don't think Nebraska puts a scoring drive together without that kick return, though. That's just me.
So, you know, we talk about privately your disdain for Husker fans.
All right.
Just walk with me.
All right.
Let's go. I think where you could still say Husker fans. I think where you could really still honestly say that the Huskers have the best fans. Commitment. Loyalty. Enthusiasm. We flagellate ourselves all week with a cat and 9 tails, and then we still show up and we're still hopeful and we still love our team. You know? That's the one way I would still say we have the best fans, dude. Like, I don't know. It's not saying we're like the smartest.
Like anything that has to do with a brand, like corporation, other teams, all that stuff, should try to figure out what it is. Whether it's the success back before things got so popular for so long, the fact that they're for the longest time were like the only show in the state.
I think that's the biggest
what it
thing.
is, but it's an insane loyalty, and I'm with it. I'm part of it, but it's this insane loyalty to the end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To the brand or whatever, because everybody's super quick to get rid of coaches, to turn on them. The players,
brand
not
loyalty,
so much. Yeah, the players not as much as like coaches, but individually, they'll turn on players, you know, within reason, fairly quick. They'll get players will get fan support back quicker than coaches will, but it's just, for as much as a big chunk of the fan base seems to hate coaches or certain players early on, but still go to all the games, buy all the shit, watch everything, follow it all.
That's how I would sack your ass, by the way.
Oh, dude,
if you ever thought to drop back
I wouldn't have got that with the YouTube delay and shit behind everybody.
So, you know what got me excited for this game was that Ohio State-Indiana score. I'm thinking there's nothing that illustrates our season better than getting our a-holes waxed by Indiana and then turning around and looking so like we belonged. Obviously, it was a style matchup reason why that happened with Ohio State. But it's just like And I know we talked about, like, just because one team beats the other doesn't mean that translates to the, to the other teams in that triangle or whatever. But,
yeah, it's matchups, but also Ohio State showed when they scored, they could have thrown the ball on us and I believe, and dropped 60 on us, no problem. They could have beat us worse than Indiana. Because they just come off that loss to Oregon. They had Penn State the next week. I don't know, man. I just think it was, I don't know. It was almost more of a statement to be like, when you're like wrestling with a little kid, you're not wrestling them like you're wrestling somebody your age or your size. You're messing with them. And if they start like getting all gassed up or whatever, start getting too wild, then you'll just like snatch them and be like, bitch, you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of, I felt like that during the game a lot. Like, it was close. And it's like, oh man, we got a chance. And then they just drop back and have one dude go over the top of every one of our defenders and touchdown. And then it's like,
yeah,
oh shit. And then they run the ball and try to eat the clock and do their thing. And I don't know, maybe that's not the case, but that's just what the vibe I felt from watching them, because I had watched that Ohio State Oregon game. It was 2 weeks before because they had that bye afterwards, but they just looked way different.
I need a win. Right. I just need a win, bro. My Suns are on a 5-game losing streak. Huskers are on a 4-game losing streak. I need a win. All right, if I need to become a fan of another team to feel a win.
A touchdown.
Well, you're more welcome to be a Bills fan, dude. You don't watch the Bears anymore. Maybe you'll get back in the back in the Bills for a while.
Yeah. Maybe I should leave the Bears. I've never considered it, but it's like, let's do snap. Snap.
Snap. That was farther time than I thought.
Ooh, little short. Throw. Let's go! Come on, Emmett! I love it. I love it.
No, you shouldn't. It was a screen. We don't like screens no more.
He started over
here.
Yeah, but Holgerson told the receivers if they don't block on the edge, they're not going to get the ball. So I think, there was no receivers really involved.
Well, down here,
except for upfield, yeah.
He's the speedier, shiftier back of the two, and a nice explosive play on the screen game.
Ooh, little touch pass. Going to the edge.
There you go, Barney.
Going to the edge.
There you go, Barney.
Oh my God, hold on to it, Barney. Thank you.
I ain't worried about him. The first 3 games of the season, I was feared for his life every time he got hit because he looks like one of my daughters out there, like size-wise. But he just pops up laughing and it's like, okay,
he doesn't know who's a senior or Barney,
that extra about 15, 16, 17 yards was nice.
Does all the right things and clearly showing up big as a playmaker as well.
We got Heinrich Harburg checking into the ball.
Now, a lot of people don't know this because of your age. They would assume wrong. You're as big as Robinson, but you are faster than Ja'Cory Barney.
I can tell immediately what direction it's going. Now, a lot of people don't know this.
Come on, Harburg, just get back. There you go. Attaboy, attaboy.
Tonight, massive women's volleyball matchup right
now. Go sit down.
As Merritt Beeson and the number 2.
Hey, did you see Nebraska ball beat
Creighton?
Saturday night volleyball showdown tonight, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
I'm about ready to start streaming those games,
and the Fox Sports app. Just a short walk away.
I'm telling you.
What do you think?
I would rather watch Nebraska volleyball than any college basketball. I'm down for Husker basketball. Give me something to get into the offseason after this.
Right.
I really like watching.
Me too. I had fun last season, and I think it would be fun to follow it all season, It's just, that's the thing where I'm having to, shift my allegiance and, I don't know. Is it cool if I'm a J-sker?
Nah, see, you've always liked Creighton, haven't you?
Well, one of the best parts of my childhood, truly, was every year begging my dad to let me go to Creighton camp.
Yeah.
And, I remember one time he took out a loan to be able to pay for me to go to Creighton camp. Those
and
were the
repay him by what?
By not getting good enough grades to start in high school. That's how I repaid.
The ball.
Love the big boy and the.
So we got hit up. Let me check our email real quick. Tell me if we make this extra point. We got hit up by a company that does. They basically want to help us do merch. I feel like Husker Online was talking about them.
He made it.
Okay, Fourth Wall. I feel like I just heard Husker Online guys, Sipple and your boy, talking about it. I don't know, but we'll see. I don't really think we're big enough to be worrying about all that right now, but I just need to buy my Sundo 316 shirt.
Yeah.
From Suns
I'll
Valley,
take one of those. I'll take 2 of those.
I need to order one and not tell Sundo and just be wearing it on stream. He'll lose it.
With Will Levis.
Yeah, man, that TH3, they just took the fun out of football with no sellies. I did see a Trump dance from one of the Skurs during our first touchdown. Yeah, I don't know who it was though. Thought it was maybe a tight end or something.
They don't care about the sportsmanship aspect. It's just when they take too long, that cuts into how many commercials they could already be playing after the touchdown.
Exactly.
Like it stalls the extra point. So it's like, dude, if you hurry up, hand us the ball and run off the field like Barry Sanders, we can get this extra point and squeeze in another commercial.
Then we can get
factor
Coach
an extra
Prime
commercial
in there a couple more times.
Yeah, exactly. You figure an extra commercial per touchdown a game. They're really raking it in. These players that everybody's watching these commercials for, they don't need the recognition. They need to keep their helmets on and shut up and get back to the sideline.
Brent, it's a little tricky.
We got Wingstop to sell. Go on.
It's a little tricky, Brent. I mean, some games they let you show more. Some games they don't let you show shit. Like if this was on Peacock, we would have already been arrested by the FBI. SWAT team would have came in through my roof and shot me dead on the spot.
If it was on what?
If it was on Peacock.
Yeah, they're not fans of us.
Yeah. So we just have to be careful and mute this. Man. We need this win. We need it so bad. It's like you can taste it. And so I titled our preview something like, the Huskers have a perfect opportunity this week. And can you guys see that? I mean, Wisconsin is in turmoil. They are in grave danger. To quote my childhood hero, Master Splinter. Like, things are just bad. When I watched that press conference, you just get the vibe that this is a team that... Okay, here's what sold it for me. When he said, play calling, who does it matter? Does it matter who calls the plays and stuff? He mentioned that the reason for getting rid of their offensive coordinator wasn't really about play calling. It was about leadership. He wanted a better leader. As he was trying not to throw his guy under the bus, he talked about it was a leadership decision. And that made me think, okay, there's problems in this locker room. There has to be serious problems. You're firing a coach because you don't like his leadership. That means things are getting out of hand. That means the team has given up on him. So that's why I thought we'd be good. And then you go back and you watch our press conferences, and like it's like more like we've just are accepted where we are and are busy trying to do the work to dig ourselves out of the hole. Whereas they are realizing, holy shit, we're sliding down into this hole. What do we do? And we're like, yeah. First time, like, as they're sliding in the hole, we're like pulling ourselves up out, like, have fun. Like, that's the vibe it gave me. And I still could not have predicted being up 24-10. I will say, one quick, easy touchdown for them out of the half after some adjustments, and boom, they're right back in it. And then you know what we do. I refuse to believe that the Huskers have a win locked away right now. No way. It feels great to be in this position, but this would just hurt that much more if you come out, do what we do, which is let our foot off of the gas, Dustin, and, you know, God, that touchdown pass was beautiful. Everything about it. It was almost prettier than the Nair one, but I think if Nair would have came down in bounds, that would have been a little bit prettier. But James Williams says, have some positivity. Hey, I picked the Huskers to win the game before the game. Gary said we were going to lose. I actually was optimistic. There is optimism within me. However, I'm not going to get ahead of myself because I've seen this happen too many times. You know? Phil Spear says, I think Holgorsen stays aggressive. So, Phil, I've noticed, no judgment, you're well within your rights, but I've noticed you've been pretty upset lately. How are you feeling about this game, Phil Spear? What are your thoughts? 2-0 says 28 at Purdue last time we scored this much. Yeah, wow. And that was basically all in the second half, too. Yeah, I guess I am a little pessimistic. I just can't shake the feeling, that we'll start letting up. Joey says, sorry I'm late. What did I miss? Well, we started out the game with a great kick return back past the 50, I believe. Bam, 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 touchdown. Real quick and easy with passes and runs. We ran it in with Harburg. Gave them the ball. They immediately scored. And we fumbled, they've fumbled, but things are just happening at the most opportune times for Nebraska. I mean, they've missed 2 field goals. They were going to score a 97-yard scoring drive and turn it into a field goal, and they shanked it, and then we took it down and scored, and then they came out with 17 seconds and ran the ball up the gut one time, and we popped it out. Mark Hub, I agree, says, hey guys, go Big Red, feel like I can breathe again. Ain't that the truth?
Well, so what you were saying about Fickle, saying about the leadership thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this game was 14-10, would you still feel, and like everybody in the chat too, would you still feel the way you're feeling now? Or would you feel even more, God, we're only up 4, they get the ball back, we didn't score at the end of the half?
Yeah.
So that goes with like what I'm saying with like all the motivational speakers and stuff are like, you create your own luck. When you wake up every day and you've got a goal you're trying to chase and you do things with purpose, you don't just half-ass stuff and wait for things to happen. Those are the people that say, oh, nothing ever goes my way, I don't have any luck. The people that seem to have all the luck are always whatever, trying to do things. So you've got a guy like Holgorsen who, and when you listen to his press conference, he's talking about what he was doing with TCU. He had to stop doing it because he couldn't stand being at the games on Saturdays and not having any control over the game in any aspect. I find it hard to believe that he came in with that same mindset or willing to coach under the same kind of guidelines or whatever that Satterfield was. Where like if Rule says we're doing this is what we're doing. I don't know this. I feel like he's the personality type. Seeing him in his previous stops with West Virginia and Houston, especially, that I feel like he told Rule, I'll run your offense, but I'm running your offense. I'm not going to be told how to run it.
No. You know what I think it is?
Situations. Hold on. But I'm saying like that shows every game since Matt Rule's been here, and even when Frost was here, though we get the ball with that much time left in the second half, it's exactly what you were saying. You're running some, weak plays, some soft little. Hopefully we can get downfield and get into field goal range. If a play breaks for a touchdown, that's great. He stayed aggressive. He fully intended on scoring, even when it looked like the play was or the drive was starting to stall out in field goal range. He does 3 passes in a row to the end zone. We end up getting a touchdown, and that aggressiveness turns into good fortune when they decide they're going to kind of, we'll try a run play, and we'll either run the clock if we're lucky and it breaks, like a lot of coaches do. It turns into a fumble. So now you have a 10-point swing just because your offensive coordinator decided to be aggressive at the end of the half instead of doing what, to be fair, 80 to 85% of coaches in college football would do. And now your team, you saw them going off the field, jumping around, everything. They all really feel and believe they're going bowling now, as opposed to going in up 4 knowing Wisconsin's getting the ball back and allowing that here we go again mentality to take place in the locker room, or depending on this first drive. If Wisconsin goes down and scores a touchdown somehow, it's like, okay, man, offense is flowing. We're good. We'll get it back. If we were up 4, they come out in the first drive of the second half and go punch it in on us. Everybody, the fans, us, people in the chat, everybody in the stadium, the coaching staff, the players, everybody, they can put on whatever face they want. They're all going to go, shit, we got to go get points this drive. You know what I'm saying? Like you completely changed the mindset of everybody just by how aggressive you were on that last drive, in my opinion.
Well, first things first, I taught you all of that.
Could you tell I was reading? I was trying to look off.
Great job.
It didn't look like I was
reading off teleprompter. So there's that. But when it comes to the first part where you're saying, Holgorsen might have told him, hey, man, if I'm running it, I'm running it. I think it was the opposite. Not that he wouldn't have wanted that, but I think what he said is exactly how it went down. Matt Rule offered him the keys because God knows he doesn't want to drive it anymore, and neither should Satterfield. And Holgorsen was like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm ready. And then 3-4 days later, he goes, hey, I think I'm ready to drive. And Matt goes, please fucking drive. Don't even ask me for input. I don't even want to give you input. You do you, okay? Because everyone here involved needs to stop being involved. So just do whatever you want. I will trust you. I don't even think Holgorsen had to put his foot down. I think Rule was probably glad to give it up.
Maybe, but I don't know that he was in that same mindset when he was putting his staff together.
No. But the failures took a toll, I would imagine.
Maybe he did. Maybe he would have done that I don't know. Like, I'm not, even when I'm saying all the shit I'm saying, it's just my thought. I mean, I'm not obviously behind the scenes or hearing any of this stuff. It's just when you kind of piece shit together, like what he's talking about in his press conference, what's unfolded. Like if it bothered him to coach, advise, whatever you want to call it, TCU, if it bothered him to be there doing that but not be able to have input on the game, so he basically stopped doing it, I think he knew that. You know what I mean? I think he would have known that when he's getting offensive coordinator job offers, like going in like kind of interview type shit of, I'm not the type of OC that's gonna be told, hey, pick one of these plays, call one of these plays. It's like, if you want me to run your offense, I'll run your offense. But
our boy Dan the Corn Man says, greetings from Memorial Stadium, guys.
What up, man?
Lordy really wanted me to fly up there for this game, but I was like, I don't know, man. Likely it'll be cold out there. I ain't really built to handle the cold no more. What is the weather up there right now?
I thought they said during kickoff it was like 60, but then I don't think it's that warm up here.
Still, that's not bad. I would have thought it would have been.
Shows it's 55 here.
Yeah, that's manageable.
Real quick before this second half starts,
Oh, you've got time.
What were we going to talk about? Oh, you wanted to talk about Malachi.
Yeah. So we didn't get to make a video about this because
we can. I mean, he hasn't said anything
that's
yet.
true.
It's still just rumors. So, I mean, when
it upsets
he does
me
or doesn't.
Greatly. And I know it doesn't upset you. I feel like your take is going to be good. If he don't want to be here, get rid of him. And I feel that aspect. I don't want hostages. It's just, I really like Malachi because to me, he's prototypical size with prototypical speed, and he was the number one in-state prospect. And just that combination rubs me the wrong way to lose a guy like that. A 6'3", 6'4" burner with speed that comes from Omaha, and you gambled on redshirting him and thinking that he was going to be okay with that, and he was okay with that until you started losing. This is my speculation, of course. I don't have any facts on this, but I would imagine he got tired of the losing. He's like, really? So I'm sitting while we're losing every damn game. How does that make that make sense for me? I really don't want to lose him, man. I really don't. Go ahead and convince me otherwise.
No, I don't want to lose him either. But I'm saying, like, typically if a dude's made his mind up, like, he'll announce it in some way or come up with whatever. And the schools seem to kind of have that standard now where they let the players make the decision or do whatever. The portal's not even open until, what is it, the 9th of December, when guys can transfer, do whatever. So it's like, even if he's kind of made it, it seems like he's made his mind up. Let's not get over our skis on looking good against Wisconsin, but that doesn't change the fact how much more in sync and in rhythm the offense looks, right? Where we like 3 weeks into the Holgorsen deal now.
So
one of them was a bye week.
Don't you agree he's a great blocker? Like, is he not one of our best?
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if all those things you're saying are true and you're doing things like this, it's a lot easier to go, 3-4 of those receivers are going to be gone next year, dude, and you're going to be one of our guys. You've already played and, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he sees what can happen, sees how the quarterback can look like the 5-star quarterback,
it's like
or more like a 5-star quarterback. Yeah, but it's
winning cures a lot,
at the same
man.
time, though, when you have guys that are like, no, I don't want to be here, I don't believe in putting a ton of effort into trying to convince them. Like,
what does it cost you, bro?
If
recruiting hours, that doesn't.
If your wife comes to you with divorce papers and you have to beg and plead and convince her over the next week, and you're holding off and delaying signing those papers that she wants you to sign, and then finally she goes, all right, we'll work it out. Even when things start going good, or once that relief of, oh, sweet, she's not going to divorce me, immediately I would assume the thought comes in your mind of like, well, does she really want to be with me? Or if the next time we have a big fight or disagreement, is it going to turn into this? Is this going to loom over my head? Is she really committed to the relationship? I don't let them go. You know what I mean? If a dude's like, who wants to go, like, man, we could use you. There's going to be way more opportunities next year. You came off a shoulder surgery or injury or whatever it was. We didn't want to have you have this nagging injury that messes with your career.
We could get you and Dylan on the same pace. He's a sophomore. Yeah. You're a sophomore. You guys can.
We got other burners are going to be out there with you. But if you want to move on, you don't think this is the right fit for you.
Justin has a really good question. Says, ask yourself this: would we be having this discussion if he wasn't from Lincoln? I do think we would. He was
Oregon wanted him. Colorado wanted him.
This is when Colorado was at their peak of hype. And he picked us. I think the injury is the biggest selling point. It's like, bro, we're looking out for you. We don't want you to waste any time of a year. you know. Shit, man, go pro as a junior if you're going to be that good. That's fine. You can leave. Like, we're not tripping, but it was the fact that Banks and Nair were supposed to be up here talent-wise, and they're both seniors. And it's like, dude, we're not going to have that many. We're not going to have enough plays available for you to really make it worth spending an entire year. Plus, you've got the injury. Just sit a year, you know. And I think he would have been much more okay with that if we were winning the majority of our games. But that 4-game losing streak, I think that's where it's like, dude, do I even want to be here? What am I even doing this for? But I think Holgerson can be a huge shot in the arm, you know, to fix that. Yeah. But hopefully, we got to get through this damn half. We got to get through this second half with a dub. MWI says, need to stop catering to babies and divas. If he's butthurt, let him go. I understand that.
But I also don't necessarily
he's just so damn talented.
Being a diva. Like, if you... I mean, look at it from all sides. You know, I'm a little bit harder on players as far as kind of agreeing with that and being accountable when the play on the field shit. But that doesn't mean there's no accountability or no other way of looking at it. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're a dude that in high school is getting courted by teams like Oregon, Colorado, Oklahoma, Michigan, you're like, nah, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to go to this team, which is worse than all of those teams, except for maybe Colorado at the time. I'm going to go there. You get kind of hodgepodge used a little bit on special teams, mainly as a blocker. Your freshman year, don't get to do it. I mean, there was teams recruiting him to play defense. He's such an athlete and strong and big. And then, okay, here's my chance, you know, because you can say the same thing. Like, do some ranging. What time is it? Yeah.
4:51.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to catch a little nap.
Husker fan says, I'm about to cry, to be honest.
With this team, but you showed them over 50 plays where they didn't meet the standard. He said, no, we're not snake guys. This is in your control. He wants to empower his
You think we should tear the field goal down?
Well, it started with the
take the goalpost
down.
I mean,
D-line dominated and finished.
I wouldn't say tear the goalpost down, but if they storm the field, it'd make more sense to me than beating Colorado.
I agree. Now, what if we did we storm the field versus Colorado?
Yeah.
We did?
Because remember you and I were saying they shouldn't.
Yeah, it wasn't like a full storming though, right? I mean, we didn't like...
No, I don't think it was like they went ape shit. But
yeah.
A lot of the student section, I think, calmed down.
Yeah, that just makes us look even worse. Tiger Shark said, yes, we might be going bowling. I feel comfortable now saying it feels like we're going bowling. It would have to be the most cataclysmic collapse you've ever seen. But if anybody's going to do it, you know, if anybody's that cursed, it would be us. MWI says, I love how we're all going to drink double the Kool-Aid after being miserable.
That's what I was going to say. Like, let's
right?
Relax a little bit. Wisconsin, you can't. I mean, for sure, things look good and be happy when they're going well and be optimistic about the future.
That's why you shouldn't be so negative when things go bad.
Well, that's why you should just try to be as realistic as possible, whether you like or dislike or whatever certain players or coaches or whatever, because it's like your take about how they're in shambles and this and that, and then we come out and look good and it's like we would have beat this team and this team and this team. It's like maybe they're just in really bad shape and Nebraska's progressively getting better.
Golf Pro Joe says, if we beat Iowa, then I'll feel a bit better. Yeah, that would actually really Really feel good. But
tell Golf Pro Joe he'll feel what I tell him to feel.
Golf Pro, you'll feel what Gary tells you to think and feel.
Props to Golf Pro Joe's son for getting his first deer this morning.
Ooh!
BT Dubs.
He's officially more of a man than me.
And me.
I did kill a deer in a video game last night. Does that count?
Yeah, you're a big
Dad.
Unable to take advantage of
You
their
probably see who he's talking to.
I don't want to get us off of sync. You'll have to sync up again. Dana.
No, I don't think they showed.
Boulderson. Living in Omaha says we will get the first bowl version of BRR. Ain't that the truth?
No, don't get your hopes
Get to
up,
make
bro.
bowl game videos.
Spoiler alert.
Predictions.
Probably won't be that cool.
I almost missed this stream, by the way.
What?
Because yesterday I was at work. I looked at my schedule, and they had me working today. I was like, But luckily I wasn't booked, so I was able to swap it for Sunday. That was my bad not proofing my schedule. Dylan with the $4.99 dono. Thank you. Says, thanks for doing these streams. Nah, man. Thank you. It's a pleasure. Hey, this is a good time to do a little admitting about the history of the channel. So when we first started, so I've got a Phoenix Suns channel that does this sort of thing, live streams. And we tried that right off the bat with Big Red Rant with like no subscribers. And I didn't know how to make thumbnails or do YouTube at all.
And you don't know shit about football.
And I don't know shit about football, relying on Gary the last few years to, kind of fill me in on all the details.
Like how many guys are on the field.
But we had no one watching. I mean, those live streams would end up with like 24 total views, right? And then the next season, we were like, not doing that. We're just all people wants videos. We're not doing it. And then last season, we were like, let's give it a go. We'll try it.
People be excited about Rule's first game against Minnesota.
Yeah.
On a circle,
so the moral of the story, kids, don't give up on your dreams, all right?
Yeah, this was Gary's dream the whole
All
time.
my life. I love attention. I love talking in front of people. Nothing more I'd rather do.
Come on now.
Except
Scored
maybe
through first down Wisconsin.
Fourth and one, he got him.
Blocked it well.
We might have a situation. We probably are going to have a situation Friday
Almost
night.
got there. He got through, but
You're not going to be here?
by Walker, the
Freedom Trophy will stay in Lincoln.
I wonder if they ended up
And the
going.
Cornhuskers
That's just the weather was nice.
are going bowling.
He's licking his lips. It was a successful game. He's licking them lips.
Since 2016, the journey to get here, not easy. Long and filled with a number of challenges.
That would be so dope. Golf Pro.
Congratulations to Matt Rule.
If only we had the technical capabilities of doing that. You said do a live show from the bowl game.
We talked about it, Jake. It's not just the fact they're going to a bowl. It's the practices this program
This is
gonna get.
crazy.
And the fans deserving.
Especially not if it's in Detroit. I ain't going to Detroit for nothing.
Did you listen?
Matt Rule, if you can hear us, take it away, bro.
I don't know. They were saying that
Coach
like
told me he's
the
eager
bowl.
to
We'll get a better
committee
bowl.
want Nebraska
Yeah.
in because they travel so well. So like,
Shut up, a real man's talking.
What does this
Yeah,
win mean to you?
sorry.
Well, it means a lot to these seniors. I want to go hug those guys. You know, they haven't had this moment, so really proud of them. Happy for them.
You mentioned that you want to get this win here for them. Just what did they bring to the table here tonight?
Well, they weathered the storm. They battled. I told a couple of them they got to deal with me for a couple more weeks at the bowl practice. So, I mean, this is a good football team. We haven't beat them in 11 years. It's about time we did it.
You showed command on both sides of the ball. When you play like this, what's the potential of this team?
Well, you know, we have some vets, but we're still some young guys. And they've been playing this experience, make some great plays on special teams. Johnny Hole made some big kicks, won the turnover battle. Just a well-rounded win.
Ty Robinson told me he bleeds Nebraska. He loves this team. He loves this school. What do you make of the dominance he showed here tonight?
Well, he's one of the best players in the country. Someone better take him really high. He came back to improve that, but also to do this. So I love him. He's like a son
Good
to me,
point,
honestly,
Huskers
and,
fan. One, exactly. Recruits are seeing this.
Last one, Freedom Trophy. It's staying here. Where are you going to put it?
I'm saying it one more time.
The Freedom Trophy. Where are you going to put it?
You know what? We don't have a place for it, but we're going to find one. It's been a long time. I said those guys go get it. They earned it.
That's the funniest shit I've ever heard. We don't even have a place for the trophy.
Was that like a subtle flex, though?
I mean, it
Our
could
trophy
be.
case is full,
I mean,
from the 90s.
To me, it felt like we didn't even. Hey, we were even.
Yeah. We had no plans for no trophies.
No clue.
While,
yeah. Like we were using all the trophy places for poinsettias.
Poinsettias.
All right. That is crazy, dude. I mean,
Johnson,
he looked like he was getting a little choked up.
A complete team win.
Keep it right here, folks. We'll have the post-game press conference live for you.
I think he had a couple donos go by. I switched screens.
We did. Thank you. Sorry about that. So Dylan S. GBR, $20 dono, his third dono. Thank you, Dylan. If you had a more of a message, let us know. We'll read it. Living in Omaha, $20 more. Thanks again. Thank you again.
Good night.
Tiger Shark says it perfectly. We're national champs.
Obviously.
You know? They don't want these problems, Gary.
I think we're Super Bowl champs, honestly.
Yeah, well, are you saying we're not going to the Super Bowl now?
I'd be shocked.
I thought that's how it worked, but okay, if you're going to say we don't, we don't. Emmett with 113 yards and 3 TDs vultured by my guy, Dante Dowdell. Harburg, 6 carries, 3. 1 rushing tutty from Harburg.
Dude, imagine if Nair and Banks don't drop those touchdowns.
Dude, we put up 56, 57 points, something like that. Dylan Hammond Raiola, 28 completions, no picks, truly threw at least 3 touchdowns, but they did not get caught. Okay. But terrific. I mean, that's the Dylan Raiola we thought we were getting, right? Isn't that the one we were expecting to have all season?
Yeah.
Now, are you nude right now? Is that why your camera's off?
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize that.
We just won a bowl game.
Around.
Try to show some respect.
I mean, teams can't just all out blitz them and do shit like they were doing when we implement a quick pass game when the run game's working. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, I don't think much has changed with Raiola. He just isn't running for his life or, expected to. And then part of some of his flaws were holding the ball too long. And it's like teams were just going man on us and blitzing, keeping the box tight. And I know
that's
you like
it when
the box is kept tight.
Mm-hmm. I think Holgerson
did the 2 obvious things that they needed to do.
I want to say match made in heaven with Raiola. Is that too far? Probably.
I mean, I don't want to overdo it.
We'll just say a giant upgrade. Giant upgrade.
But I feel like anybody with common sense could have came in and went, dude, implement a quick pass game. That's going to fix a lot of your problems for now. Teams can react to what you do within your quick pass game and, start getting film on you and things like that and adjust. And it might not always look great all the time, depending on matchups and whatnot. But it's like when you're not changing anything and you're trying to drop back and hold the ball for 7 to 9 seconds while plays develop and teams are like, okay. And you're not getting edge blocking. Like the 100 yards rushing, you saw where what level of the field Emmett was getting tackled most of the time. And like, instead of getting tackled at the 3-4 yard mark, once you got into that second level where your perimeter and intermediate blocking would help you, they were actually blocking in those areas. So he's able to get 4 or 5 yards past that. Oh shit.
$10 dono from Patriot No Jab says Mandingo Matt and Hogleg Holgerson. Well said. Very well said. And then everybody in the chat is letting us know that Colorado's getting dog walked.
Are they really?
Yep. Phil Spear says go Big Red. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then I gotta play the food here, so I'm gonna stay off camera about some of my stuff. I'm just getting shoved and shit in my face.
Well, hopefully Matt Rule will be talking soon enough anyway, so it won't be a big deal.
Yeah, I'll be listening either way.
Phil Spear, I want to know what you think, bro, because I feel like you're one of the most common names that I see, especially like in the post-game press conference chat, just lighting people up and lighting the Huskers up. Like, are you really happy right now? Like, I'm happy for you, Phil. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Dylan says the monkey is off the back. Now we can move on from the dreaded 6th win. 100%. Somebody earlier, I'm sorry for not remembering it. Somebody up here said the recruits are all seeing this. And, also Malachi Coleman saw this. I think I don't think there's any way that this win doesn't help give him like a little bit of a nudge back in the direction of staying on the team. If he hasn't made his decision yet, there's no way this hurt our chances of keeping him around. You saw for the first time, well, maybe the second or third time, really the full-throated version of Dylan Raiola and what he's supposed to really be. And Dana Holgerson is working at. Ooh, they're showing some highlights. I don't mind popping this up, to be honest. Kind of want to see some of these again. Their quarterback is actually kind of nice too, not going to lie. He had a great game. This was a fun game. If we didn't have to be so stressed about getting a bowl appearance, I would have just enjoyed the hell out of this game. If I was like an Oregon fan like Brady watching this game, this had to be a fun game to sit there and watch. A lot of scoring, back and forth, a lot of action, some big hits, a sexy, well-endowed offensive coordinator for Nebraska with a mullet to look at. That's huge. Kyle says if Dana stays next year and so does Dylan, Dana is a head coach again in 2026. Easy. Pump the brakes, all right? I'm not disagreeing with you, but we got to slow down. All right? We got to worry about Iowa. And maybe he's just way better as a coordinator. There ain't no shame in that. Apparently it didn't go that well when he was at Houston. He said, nah, full speed ahead. All right, well, I respect it. Patriot says it will help for sure. If not, others will jump on it. And man, I'm kind of surprised that we've been able to pull the recruits away from other teams that we've been able to do lately. Like Nebraska's still getting commits lately from top tier talent through the losing streak. How? I don't know. But, this is also a game that I think really helps secure Dylan Raiola not leaving. Let's be very honest. All right, let's see what
just to come out here and,
Big Boy's talking about.
To break through and finally get that 6th win to go bowling. I mean, I'm emotional. I was not emotional on the sideline. It was amazing, man. I'm so proud of this team and where we've come so far.
You told me how much this game meant to you. Why are you so emotional after a win like this?
I mean, I feel like I've just poured myself into this program for the last 6 years. I know the guys that decided to come back with me and go through, this hard off season and, this battle with me and to finally see all the stuff that we've been working for to come true. I mean, it's just amazing, man. It feels so good.
When you decided to come to Nebraska, is this what you envisioned?
Yeah, man. I mean, there's no better place. This is the place for college football. I love this place. This will be my home forever, and to finish my last game here, as a senior and for the season, it's great to be here and end with a win.
But you're not done yet because you're going bowling here.
Yeah, we are. So 2 more wins, and we're gonna keep this thing going.
Support that Nebraska fans show you guys here. Just what does this group, these people right here mean to you?
This is why we do it. It's all worth it to these guys, man. They're just as much important as we are. This is Nebraska right here, and today we show that Nebraska pride.
Ty, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Ty Robinson. Congratulations to all the Huskers.
Brings a tear to me eye.
They did well in this game. They did not give up a single negative play. Marcel, 74.
Damn, we had no negative plays. Holgorsen for president, bro. Can Holgorsen get named into Trump's cabinet somewhere? Can we get him in some position of power? Like, God, he was everything we needed. Everything. You back, Gary?
And you didn't want him.
Remember you were like, nah, I don't like mullets. I said, relax. I'm going to go look for this Matt Rule postgame. That's what I just want to seize. Golf Pro Joe says we could win 8 games this year. Oh, baby. Don't do all that, all right? Don't get me too excited now. Let's just focus on Iowa, because do not forget, Iowa really is our rival, right? So I couldn't get excited about it until now. Now I want Iowa blood. I want to sink my teeth into some yellow blood, Gary.
Yellow blood.
What's your boy Ronnie Cates think of this?
Is that a racist statement you just made?
Yellow blood? No offense to the Orientals or anything. I'm talking about Iowa. You know? Let me pull that down here. And let's see if Matt Rule's ready to talk. Because Matt Rule finally isn't going to be depressed in a post game. Ooh, he's talking already.
Really well. Ja'Cory worked the middle of the field, but I thought Emmett was first 100-yard rusher of the season, but also catching the ball in the backfield. The tight ends showed up. The ball went to where it was supposed to be. We were able to protect the quarterback. So I just think they went out and they executed, and when we executed, we scored. When we didn't execute, we struggled to score. But that's gets my point. Like there was no new plays. I mean, I had to call timeout a couple times because Dana was, tripped up trying to get the words out, and because he knew what he wanted. And a lot of plays, some of the other coaches helped him with. I thought it was great collaborative by those guys on the sideline.
Speak to the rhythm that your offense found into the first half, and then into the second half. Just the rhythm and play calling, and just the way that the offense moved.
Yeah, I think if you go back throughout the course of the year, we've had a lot of drives killed by penalties and things like that. I thought there was no negative plays, right? So like last week, I know you guys asked me about pushing the ball on the field. I said, well, we were able to get the ball in the quarterback's hand. Every ball kind of went forward, right? It's like like playing like links golf, just keep knocking it down the fairway. And today we were able to do that, but also make some explosive plays. But the players made the explosive plays. The players made people miss. Like Emmett was untackleable at times today, right? So I thought that was another component to it. And then we were probably, more aggressive in the fourth quarter. As I've talked about, me looking at it, saying, hey, how do you kind of challenge and change the way that we're going to play to be a little bit more explosive? And we threw the ball more in the fourth quarter than I normally would. And Dylan made those plays. Like he made great decisions. He put the ball where they needed to be. And even I don't know how many we scored, but 44. We probably could have scored 55. With a couple balls hit our hands and we had to kick field goals. So, credit to those guys for coming out and making the plays.
What does it mean just to advance the program forward at this point, to finally get over this hurdle that's blocked the program since 2016?
Well, I think there's obviously like a psychological component to it, but there's also a physical component to it. And as I said when I was talking to the production. You know, you think they've the last 7 years, Wisconsin's been in a bowl game. That's roughly 15 practices a year. That's 105 practices that their players have had of development that we haven't had. And so, you know, this is a great way to send off the seniors. It's also an opportunity for us to continue to develop our players. And then kind of the cloud that kind of hangs over everything, you know, like it's gone. You know, this will be the last time we ever celebrate 6 wins. But as I've told our players, it's always the hardest to do it, you know, because it's always hard to be the first to do it, right? You know, everyone's always, you know, your own self. You're questioning, like, is this right? Is that right? Once you do it, it's like, okay, this works. I trust it now. And so I can't thank, you know, Ty and Giff and Nash and all those guys enough. You know, Bryce, they've trusted it. And, you know, whether it was Buschini putting the ball out at the 2, I mean, it just comes down to players making plays. And so I hope as we come in tomorrow, our players have a much better picture of what's possible when you do things at the level they're capable of. And, you know, we got into a bowl game. We have another opportunity on Friday to go play another game and a rivalry game, and it should mean a lot to us.
What kept your confidence during this tough stretch here, the 4-game losses, and keeping this team together? You make some personnel changes, but what made you believe in this team so much?
Well, it's like, you know, again, you know, it's the 3rd time I've done this, and I'm in the same exact spot that I've been every other time, right? So it's just kind of like, you know, the hard thing now is, you know, you see other people that are doing it faster in different ways, and so that, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like, why people say, well, why didn't we do this? Why did we do that? But, you know, I was just trusting in what I saw, you know, and like I said, you know, at USC, I mean, me and Troy were talking this week. I said, you know, they get a defensive pass interference missed call on the 1 and the 1 on the goal line. You know, if we score one of those 2 touchdowns, does everyone now believe that what we're doing is right? So, but again, as I said to you guys, I wasn't going to worry about the refs. I was just going to worry about trying to play better. And I think the guys are just getting better. We have a freshman quarterback out there. Like, he's going to get better every week, right? Like, you know, we have young players. You know, we have guys who have, you know, so I just think seeing the guys, seeing the way they work every day, knowing that they're here, you know, they hear all the noise, and they probably have their own questions. Like, Coach, you're working us really hard, and we're not getting what we want. But no one's ever accomplished anything in life by quitting halfway through. And one of the quotes, and I think it was James Clear who said this, you know, whether something's a success or failure usually depends on when you measure it. So if you measured it last week, you would say, boy, they're failing. Today, you might say, boy, they're being successful. And so I just prefer to take the long approach. There's unbelievable leadership here, whether it's, you know, President Gold, whether it's Troy Dannon, whether it's Governor Pillen, whether it's all the people that support the program. You know, all the people have just kept saying to me, like, hey, we trust you, just keep doing it. And I keep saying that to the players. And I think you saw a team today that, a lot of questions you guys asked me this week was, hey, where's their head at? Like, I thought you saw a team today that obviously believes in what we're doing.
What was your immediate emotion? You know when you're going to win. There's probably about 3 minutes left. You're up 19. What is the emotions that flood over you, and what did you see from your team?
You know, I was. It was important to me that those, you know, because Wish came over to me and said, hey, those guys need to go grab that trophy, and I had forgot that there was a trophy, you know, and not because we haven't had it. It's just not the way my brain really works that way. But I was like, I just can't tell you like how much, you know, Ty Robinson means to me. I just can't express it. I can't express how much. Those guys have meant to me, and I don't know that everyone's always treated them fairly. I don't know that like those guys. I don't know if anyone understands what they've had to endure here. You know, it's just hard to be a player and have different coaches. It's just so hard, right? And I've seen the look on their face coming off the field after UCLA. I've seen the look on their face coming off the field, and just me like being like, what else can I do for them? So honestly, Sam, today my speech to them in the locker room was, I would give anything to do this for you, but I can't. You have to go do it, you know? And so my emotion was that. I wanted them to have that moment. And then, you know, then I was just trying to get off the field. You know, they wanted to interview me with the Big Ten, and they took a long time. And, you know, I got a little bit choked up there too, because I just, you know, they've worked so hard, and I wanted them to have this.
I know how much you stress the middle 8 portion of the game. You win that 13-0. How much of a lift did that give you guys going in the locker room with how that half finished and everything?
Yeah, no doubt. You know, I thought we did a nice job at the end of the half of scoring a touchdown, right? And then getting the field goal, and then you know, calling the out of bounds play, and then John. You know, credit to John. You know, just think about what he's done to improve this year. I mean, from like, man, there were days. You know, I don't want to say this so embarrassing. There was a day or two when we kicked field goals in practice where he didn't make one. And, you know, I told you as I sat there that day talking to him while he was in the hot tub, and I was like, hey, you'll get through this at some point, I promise you. And just to see him just the faith we had in him. But that was really important coming out of the half. We could have had a touchdown there too coming out of the half. I think the biggest thing, and I think credit to Coach Holgorsen, what he's brought to the offense. Maybe it's play calling. I think the biggest thing he's brought is a little bit of swagger to them of, like, we threw the touchdown to Nayor, but he was out of bounds, right? And so, typically that would be like, oh my gosh, we're snake bit, and he was just like, let's do it again, and then we threw a touchdown 2 plays later. So I thought that aggressive mindset of like, hey, we're going to keep going, guys, until they pull us off, we're going to keep going. I thought that was good at the end of the half.
Was the play up front on offense? Was it as good as last week? Was it a continuation of last week?
I have to see it on tape, but I thought we controlled the game. I don't know what the final yards rushing were. I don't know what the numbers were. That's Wisconsin, like that's a tough physical team, and they held Oregon last week to 16 points. They held Penn State. Penn State scored a late touchdown to make it 28. No one the whole year. I don't think it was, maybe Alabama scored this many points on them. So I would assume that we ran the ball well. I thought we were able to drop back and throw the ball on first and second down without any heat coming at us, and guys executed like the play to Emmett down the sideline. I don't know if you guys remember that. That's just that's the hot, and that's just Dylan doing his job and Emmett getting his head around. So, it looked to me, but I'll have to watch the tape. It looked to me like we really ran the ball well. And the drive before the half, we were in kind of a 2-minute mode, but we were in 12 personnel. We were in 2 tight ends, and that allowed us to kind of have a run-pass mix. And I just think I don't think that was planned. That just kind of Dana was feeling it, and the guys were moving the ball. So I would think so, but I'd have to watch the tape.
Is there any part of this that's a feeling of relief?
Yes, 100%. 100%. And again, it's relief in that I've got the benefit of doing this twice before, and staying, like I think I said to you guys, like when I made the change with Dana, like I look at the weight room, I look at the training room, I look at sports science, I look at sports psychology, I look at the player development, I look at the recruiting, I look at all the things we're doing and believe it's all right and it's all going to pay off in a big way. It's just I look at the players and they're coming in every day, and then it's a close loss, and then it's a close loss. Will this work? Will this work? Will this work? And I would have liked to have gotten our 6th win a long time ago. But there's something really important to us about playing Wisconsin. To be quite honest with you, Julie and I sat there 2 years ago, and we watched the Wisconsin game. And it looked like it wasn't going to work out where I was going to come be the head coach, just couldn't make things work. I remember watching that game and watching Wisconsin it was a close game, and then Wisconsin just kind of beat us up on the line of scrimmage and pull away at the end of that game. And then soon thereafter, Trev and I were able to work some things out before the Iowa game. So to come, full tilt 2 years later, to be able to run the football in the game, to be able to stop the run, yeah, I'm proud of them. But it does feel like relief, and it feels like relief because I want those older players to leave here. Like Giff kept saying, like, as he was walking out halftime, like, I want to change the program forever. And just obviously we're not where we were in the 90s. We're not there. I'm saying just in terms of we're not snake bit. There is no curse. You got to just go play good football. And if you play good football, good things will happen. So we'll have to do that again Friday versus a great team.
Sounds like Corey Barney put together a career high in receptions and yards as well. How special has it been to see him grow throughout the season?
Yeah, Jacory's one of the most competitive guys I've ever been around. He's one of the hardest working guys, and what I like about him is, he doesn't really we're not out there trying to scheme guys up to get open. Coach is calling plays, and Jacory runs a route as hard if he's the first progression as if he's the 4th progression. He runs every play like it's the last play of his life. And he's out there catching punts. He's out there catching kickoff returns. And, I thought the game started off at a really, really good note with the way he started off with that kickoff return, And so you think about our special teams and where we were at Purdue to where we are now, where we're kicking the ball, we're punting the ball down to the 5-yard line, we're turning kicks out past the 50. I wish it would have happened earlier. But guys like Jacory, when they want to play special teams, I think it lights everybody else up. Like, hey, I can do this. And we had a bunch of starters out there playing on the special teams today.
All good. Hey, last question. Since the Emmett Johnson, you guys just thought you were going to see this season?
I don't want to say I don't say that. Make sure I couch it the right way. I just think Emmett's like all of our guys on offense. There's probably, as you go through the season, you're not scoring enough points. You start to lose maybe a little the confidence, maybe in what we're doing, maybe not even in yourself. But Emmett, to me, was a game breaker today. He was a difference maker. I wish Ramir could have been out there. Obviously, Ramir Johnson. If you guys knew the things he's overcome this year to be out there, I mean, it's just amazing person. But it was Emmett, and I thought he played really, really hard. And then Dante, some big crucial runs on third down, the ones even to score the touchdown. I thought the backs hit it and played hard. But I think we have a lot of Carter Nelson. Carter Nelson's out there playing, then he makes a tackle on kickoff. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys, if they just stop at the end of the year and catch their breath and look up, they've really gotten better over the course of this year. And now we have a couple extra weeks of bowl practice to try to get them even to another level.
Matt, what do you do to celebrate?
What
do you do to celebrate? Personally?
Yeah, I'm not talking about that, guys. Don't ask me. I won't ask you.
That was actually pretty funny, not gonna lie. Until allegations come out. All right. What do you think, Gary? We did.
You notice how he talked about the halftime, the end of the half drive? He's like, got a little more aggressive and throwing the ball, which I wouldn't have done, stuff like that. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. I think that was a big part of the change that needed to take place. Like, I understand he wants to get up and then take the air out of the ball and run the ball down people's throats and win that way. But it's like, if you don't have the team to do that, you've got to play to your strengths to put games away. You can't always do it the way you want to do it. Sometimes you got to do it the way you're built to do it, or what you have available to you to do it. I don't know if it was like a light bulb moment for him or just like, I'm not a fan of this, but it's not my call. I gave him the reins and it worked out, and he's happy that it worked out and still not a fan. But either way, it's like, to me, that was a huge change in direction, in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Just bringing in a guy with that more aggressive, I don't care what the analytics say or what we're trying to establish. I'm just, maybe more of an outsider coming in going, yeah, that's
cool.
What
a talented outsider, man. He's talented.
Right, but I'm saying, like, he's looking at it. He wasn't sitting there all off season in these meetings going, this is what we're going to start trying to do. This is or even the season before, like, this is what we want our identity to be. He's watched what works and what doesn't, and taking your foot off the gas and trying to play things safe and be very conservative in situations isn't getting you the results you're looking for.
Maybe,
but you have the ability to do this.
Maybe if you were more of like a powerhouse run offense, you could get away with that. But we couldn't really get away with it. Well, let's get out of here so we can record a video and get you to Betty Bye.
I ain't never going to bet again.
Thank you guys for hanging out. What a win. We did it. All right, we're going to a bowl game, Gary, and it's all thanks to you.
All thanks to me.
We'll see you guys next Friday for the Iowa game. We'll have a post-game video out ASAP, and of course an Iowa preview, which I think is going to be filled with Kool-Aid if you're into that sort of thing. Till then, go Skurs.
Don't say that.